Hey everyone, this is John Jacob Schmidt. I wanted to revisit a couple of things. I'm going to make a few videos that kind of spin off from the video that I produced last week. I was actually very surprised I had as many questions about the coffee that I made in the video and the coffee maker than I did the communications. But I did have some questions about the communications. I will be addressing those. But I wanted to share something with you, something that's happened in the last week. I've been saving up my pennies, my change jar, and skimming off $5 and $10 here and there until I saved up enough money to buy a new portable camp stove. Now, since I'm planning and operating for the field environment, I've been researching a camp stove that I could throw into my pack that's, relatively lightweight, portable, and super important for me, multi-fuel capable. So I did the research and it came down to an MSR XGKEX. MSR is really popular. They've made a good name for themselves, and I almost bought one. And as I clicked on it, I stumbled across another one, and this is the Optimus Nova. Extremely high rated by the reviews, but these were my requirements. I wanted something that's multi-fuel, that runs on white gas, unleaded gasoline, kerosene, diesel. As I was doing the research, what I discovered was that the MSR model, everyone was saying there's no way to simmer. It is like it's either off or rocket engine, and very little in between. And this is what the reviewers were saying about the Optimus Nova, is that it is adjustable. It simmers really well, and it's a great stove, all metal as well, with a lot of the other portable backpack stoves. Makes it a little bit heavier, but they said in the cold weather the plastic parts are becoming brittle and they're finding things breaking in the field, where they're not having that problem with the Optimus Nova. So this is what I chose, and I'm going to review that today. And I'm going to demonstrate the use of this stove by making a cup of coffee, but I'm going to use a different blend this time. This is American Redoubt coffee, but what I'm going to do is brew up some of the Sisters coffee from right out of the American Redoubt. This is American Redoubt coffee as well. It's the only kind that we promote. But these folks, you probably recognize that name, Sisters Coffee. They are the sponsors of the Radio Free Redoubt's Eye on the Economy that Fox 519 does. Now, as far as, let's open up the box. I've already opened this up. I've primed it. I've used it. It comes with a carrying bag. Set of instructions in about 12 languages, makes it about 1/4 of an inch thick. I just undid the staples, ripped all the other languages out of there. In the American Redoubt, we speak English. It's the official language. And then, of course, you can unzip this all the way around. It completely opens right up. There's the stove. This is aluminum windscreen. There's the pump, and this also comes with a tool for maintaining it, and extra O-rings, a little maintenance kit. It's got a wrench in here too for cleaning out the jet. What's really interesting is the little needle valve is underneath, and so when this stove is open, you pass this little magnet on this multi-tool, pass that magnet along the underside of the stove, and it makes the little needle valve jump up and down, and it's self-cleaning. This little tool, kind of cool. Now, what's unique about this pressure valve system and feed system is that you have this feeder hose that's tilted upward, and they even encourage you to check it to make sure that it's pointed up, because it should be almost touching the inside of the bottle. If you notice, there's a off and there's an on, and that's how you turn the stove off and on, is just by simply rotating, flipping the bottle over so that on is up if you want it running, or off is up to shut it off. That helps bleed out all the gas and all the fuel from the lines. This helps minimize spilt fuel. I also bought a Primus bottle because I didn't want one of those neon green bottles that they normally come with, or yellow, red. I found OD green with black lettering right from the factory, so that's what I got for this. And this has got white fuel in it, Coleman white fuel. It looks like a water bottle, but don't try it. Actually, this also has like a child-proof cap. So you have to push down as you rotate. So if you grab that thinking it's your water bottle, you're going to know real quick, this is not my water bottle. I'll place the fuel pump apparatus inside and make sure that this is bent upwards. Stuff that in, screw it on, cinch it down. Now we're going to have this on. You want to pump this about 30, they say about 30 to 40 times with the valve turned off. That valve turned off. All right, that was about 35 times. So what we're going to do now is hook up the hose. Open up the stove. These little feet just pop right out. They're on hinges. And this is your on and off valve for controlling the flame. You want to open that up and turn it to the off position, but do not over tighten any of these. It's super easy to over tighten these on-off valves. You don't have to put very much pressure on it at all. These all come with the little rubber boot on the end of the cable, or on the end of the hose, the positive lock connectors. It goes right in here. Twist and lock. Now, with these type of stoves, multi-fuel stoves, white gas, gasoline, kerosene type stoves, you have to prime them. So to do that, you turn your on-off valve on, and then you want to turn your fuel control valve just until you start to see fuel coming out. Once fuel starts coming into there, coming into the bottom of the stove, I'm going to shut this off. Now it's going to burn off all that excess fuel that's in there. You shut this off because what you're actually doing is preheating it. If you guys have ever had like a propane stove or propane oven or propane refrigerator, you have to press and hold so the flame preheats the valves so it'll start flowing properly. So you want to burn off the excess fuel. Once that burns down, just before the flame goes out, you want to go ahead and open that up, and then we'll have a little miniature rocket engine. Okay, flame is almost out, so we'll go ahead and turn this up slowly. It should be primed now, so let's go ahead and turn it on. Turn it on too fast. A little kind of like a pilot flame in there. Let that continue to warm up, and then we'll open it up all the way. So this is really good for melting snow very quickly, bringing water to a boil very quickly. So it gets kind of loud. It's like a little blowtorch, and it's amazingly fuel efficient. Okay, we're going to turn this down just a little bit. We'll leave just a little bit of a flame going. We'll start on the coffee. Now, some folks were asking what type of coffee maker this is. This was, as I mentioned, this was a birthday present from my sister. But this is a GSI. This is the larger stainless model that you can get, or maybe it's aluminum. Feels pretty light. But You can still get these on eBay for like 20 bucks, and they make a smaller version that you can get on Amazon as well. Let's get started. Last week when I made the video, someone said, I didn't see you put water in it. How'd you make coffee without water? Well, I cut that part out so you wouldn't have to sit there watching me pour water. But you know what? I'm going to include it this time. This right here is your pressure valve, pressure release valve, because this is a miniature boiler. And you want to have some place for that pressure to go in case pressures reach too high. And that's about right where you want to bring your water level up to, just underneath that little pressure relief valve. My non-fuel water bottle. It's just touching the brass on the bottom edge of that overflow valve in there. And we've got some freshly ground Sisters coffee, American Redoubt roasted coffee. Drop it in. Screw the lid on. Set it on the stove. Your metal cup. And crank this up. Okay, so we're going to time this. Let's crank it up. We'll see how long it takes to brew a coffee on this. Should take about 2 minutes. There we go. It's just starting now, and we're about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So probably 4 minutes to 4 minutes and 15 seconds to make a full cup of coffee. But there you go. American Redoubt, right here at the Redoubt Ranch. American Redoubt coffee. It's good. There you go. As you can see, or as you can hear, it's pretty loud, but there it was. It was just under 5 minutes to make a pot of coffee from cold water. Now, remember what I said about how to turn this off. You want to leave the flame on. What you want to do is purge your lines. So you just turn your bottle over. So you read off. See that? And just lay it right there. Now that little valve, that little hose, is sticking upward into the air pocket. It's going to burn off what's left in the hose. So you can speed that process up. You're cranking up your heat. Then you just pour your coffee. This little cup gets really hot, so you just pour it right into your favorite coffee cup. Oh yeah, that's a good cup of coffee. And there it went. You can hear the air kind of seeping out. It's just air, no more fuel. That actually took about a couple of minutes. I just cut that out so you wouldn't have to endure sitting there listening and watching that. But it was a couple of minutes to purge all the fuel out of this line. So extremely fuel efficient. I hope you enjoyed that little review on Optimus Nova and a little demonstration there. Now we're getting back to comms, get our comms up, right? So over the next week, I'll be getting into the field, and a couple of questions came up about the last video that I did, particularly with the directional antenna, horizontal versus vertical polarization, request for going into more depth on some of the other antennas, and the Elecraft KX3. So we'll be doing all that in the coming weeks. So God bless. 73. This is John Jacob Schmidt, out.